Some people still getting fooled again. It wasn't gonna be me. This is the Uke Revolution. I'm Brooke, and you're watching a lesson for the Who song, Won't Get Fooled Again. In this lesson, I'll teach you the chord shapes, the chords for the different parts of the song. There's a verse, chorus, and a bridge. I'll show you some strum patterns. I'm going to play the whole song. We also have a riff tab if you want to mimic the synth sound at the beginning of the song. It's a pretty famous intro, so I didn't want to totally ignore it in this arrangement. We are playing an abridged version today. The original version was 8 minutes long. They also did a radio edit, but they left out one of the verses from the 8 minute long version. So this is kind of in between that. We're going to do all 3 verses that were written for this song. And what else? If you are interested in other protesty type songs like For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield or What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, I made a playlist of protest and hope songs, and that playlist is linked below in the caption. Also, there is membership program information linked down there. By joining as a member, that's how you find the PDF for this song. It is in the member library. The member library has almost 600 song titles in it at the time of this recording, and we are adding more all the time. The Uke Revolution will be televised on YouTube. Keep on keeping on. Let's learn the song. If you're looking at this and you're like, oh crap, there's an E in the song, you can play an E7, okay? Stay with me. So we need A, G, D, E, or E, I do like this sometimes. C. I know I'm going fast, but you can stop, of course, and review these chord shapes on your own. As with anything else in this video, you can pause, you can rewind, go at your own pace. This is an instruction manual. It's not a private lesson with just you. So this is a little bit tricky. The D and the D suspended 4 come together in the song. So you can use a D shape. We're on the D here. And then you can put your pinky on the E. You're also going to want to pick up your pointer finger that's on the G. So we got pinky down, up, pointer finger down. And you switch them back and forth like this. If you just want to leave your pointer finger on the G and just add the E string, it will sound good too. So just pinky up and down. D7, I like to use the bar shape, but again, you can use the D and then you put your pinky down on the A string. But I like to bar the 2nd fret, and then you got your middle finger on the A string. B, and that's it. E7, if you want to use the E7 substitute for E, it does sound okay in the song. Some places in the song it sounds better than other places in the song, but it'll be okay either way whenever you want to do it. So we have the regular E7. We got a pointer finger on the G string, the 1st fret, the 2nd fret, the C, and the A string. And you can also play this as a bar shape, which is what I like to do. So you bar the 4th fret, and then you put your middle finger on the A string of the 5th fret. Let's look at the chords for the verse. So I do have a simplified version of the verse 2 that I'll show you in just a minute, in case you don't want to do this jaunty change that's happening with the G and the D and the C and the G here. So in between all of these forward slashes are 4 beats. And for these bars that have 2 chords, because we have a special rhythm, we're gonna divide up the beat into 1N, 2, and 3, and 4N. So in those bars, whenever you see a hyphen, that's half of a beat. Chord name is half of a beat. So I put some little numbers over this first bar just to show you, make it more clear what rhythm is happening there. The G is coming on the and of 1, and the D is coming on the 3. So this happens throughout the song. In the verse, it happens a lot in the interludes. We have this riff with the AGD happens a lot during the song. It's kind of like the home base for this song, as I like to say. It's the place that you can go if you get lost or you need to regroup. You don't know what's going on, you can go to home base. Now, this little asterisk at the end of the verse, there's a note on the song sheet that says these 2 chord bars are marked in italics over the lyrics or something like that. So when we get to the lyric section, you'll see this G and D and this C and G are marked in italics, and it reminds you, it's that little jaunty part of the riff. So that happens throughout the song. So let me play this first so you can hear what it sounds like, because we're also going to combine it with one of the strum patterns. I think it's the easiest way to learn the rhythm of this section. So the one that I'm doing, where is it? This top line. So I'm going to just demonstrate this top line to give you an idea of how this little groove happens with a bar of 4 and then these 2 like jaunty chords that come after it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A. A, G, D, A. Down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up. So we have the A for 4, we have the G kind of for 2, and the D for 2, but that G is just coming like a hair later than you think it will. It makes it really rhythmic in this song. On the second line, we have A for 4, D for 4, E, or E7 for 4, and then we have the same rhythm with the C and the G, so it's C for almost 2 and G for 2. Okay, there's a little note here from the song sheet. It says verse A, G, D, E, C, G, or the bridge B, A, E. So there's a few different places that happens in the song, this kind of rhythm, and they're in the verse and the bridge, and a lot of the interludes, as mentioned before. So we have, in this example, for the A or for the E down here on the second line, is down, chunk up, chunk up. That's a chunky island strum. And then we got this jaunty little strum for the other chords. So the G gets up, chunk up from this second bar of the strum pattern. And the D gets the down, chunk up. And you know what? If you look at this, it's like a mirrored island strum. So we've got up, chunk up, and then it's up, chunk up again, and then back to down, chunk up. I don't know if that helps, but I just noticed it. Slowly, down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up, A. Down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up. Almost didn't change chords. Down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, chunk up, chunk up, down, chunk up. And fortunately, these bars with the 2 chords in them, they don't have lyrics. They're always in between lyrics. So you don't have to play this tricky rhythm while you're singing at the same time. Okay, and then these other bars, like the A and the D here on the second line, you can just play the down, chunk up, chunk up. That's the second line of strums here where it says other verse, chorus, bridge parts. If you have a bar that has only 1 chord in it, then you can play down, chunk up, chunk up. I'm going to play all of the verse chords with those 2 strum patterns as a demonstration, and I'll try to do it a little bit slowly. And I'm going to play an E7 because I don't want to play E either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, G, D, A, G, D, A, D, E7, C, G. I'm going to do it again. A, G, D, A, G, D, A, D, E7, C, G. Okay, and here is a simplified verse. So we're just basically taking out the first chord from those like little 2 chord bars. So we have A for 4, D for 4, A for 4, D for 4, A for 4, D, E, and G. Everything for 4. So if you don't want to deal with that jaunty rhythm, you can play this. It'll still sound great. I'm going to play these chords with the chunky island strum. Down, chunk up, chunk up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, D, A, D, A, D. I'm doing E7 again. G. Chorus chords. This is the tip my hat part of the song. So we have D for 2, A for 2, D for 2, A for 2, and we do that little line 3 times. Then we have G for 4, E for 4, G for 4, E for 4, G for 4 again. And now we're going to do that D and D suspended 4 thing that I talked about in the chord shape section. D for 2, D suspended 4 for 2, and again, D for 2, D suspended 4 for 2, and then we have D7 for 8 to finish out the chorus. So it's a bit of a long chorus. So for these two things with the D and the A and the D and the D suspended 4, we have another strum that we can use. That is this last one where it says chorus bars with 2 chords. This is down, chunk up, down, chunk up. So we've done this kind of little motion in the verse strum up here already. Down, chunk up is here, down, chunk up is here. So you're going to play down, chunk up for one of the chords and then down, chunk up for the next chord. You can, of course, just strum down for any of this. For anything ever, you can just strum down. You can also play those bars with the chunky island strum. You're just going to split that strum pattern up. So you would play D for down chunk and you would play A for up, up chunk up. It will change the rhythm of the changes a little bit, but it sounds great. It sounds very rhythmic. I tend to mix them together a little bit. Actually, let's just play the chorus one time with just a down strum. 1, 2, on the D. D, A, D, A, second time, D, A, D, A, third time, D, just like zenning out. D, A, second line, oh, new chord, G, E7, G, E7, third line, G, D, put your pinky down, D, put your pinky down, D7, and then just stop. And we're just gonna stop. We're just gonna stop on that D7 because actually both of those D7s we're just gonna strum down once. In the original production, they kind of drop out there and just sustain the band sound. So we're gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bridge chords. And the bridge is the I'll move myself and my family aside part. So we have B for 8, E or E7 for 8, A for 8, and B for 8 again. And then we have that little rhythm again. This time it happens with B, A, and E. Now, if you want to simplify this, you can do the same way that we did in the verse. You can remove the A. So you would just play B for 4 and E for 4 or E7. So this one I'm going to play the bridge chords through with down chunk up, chunk up. And then I'll play these with that same special strum rhythm that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, E7. A, B, B, and chunk up, down, chunk up, B, chunk up, down, chunk up. Real quick, we're going to look at the intro, this little like imitation riff that I made, and I've got the suggested chords for this part too. If you want to play some chords that sound a bit more like spacey, like that intro does, these are suggested chords. So for the synth intro, we got 7540. So we're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we have A add 9. A add 9 is just like the A chord, but you're going to add the A string, the second fret here. There's A add 9 for 8, G for 4, and then instead of F, we're going to do F major 7. F major 7 is the 5th fret, the G and the C string. So I'm going to play the whole thing. Let's just look at a couple things before I play the whole thing. Everything will be on the screen. Here's that synth riff part intro. So these chords, you can play them as many times as you want. In the 8-minute version, the synth part is much longer. It's only 4 bars long in the radio edit version. So I put it on the sheet one time, but you play it as many times as you want. And then when the drums kick in, we're going to switch chords up and make it a little more rock and roll. So we have A for 4 and G for 4, and you play that 2 times. But you can play, like when you're playing it, you can play any of this as long as you want. Today we'll do it the way it is on here. Both of these will just use the chunky island strum. Here's what one of the choruses looks like. The chorus is the same every time. And at the end of the chorus, we've got that A, G, D jaunty riff thing as the interlude. Almost all the interludes in this song are that A, G, D thing. Sometimes it's in B after the bridge. Here's the bridge with the ya. Bridge, so you can see here there's bay bay, the B-A-E, same jaunty little riff thing, and then we switch back to the A-G-D riff. So this is like truncated a little bit from both versions. I arranged like a similar sounding interlude here before the last bridge so we can get that ya in. I think for this synth part, the first line in the intro, we could do a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And the singing note, as you can see here, is the A string, fret 0. We'll be fighting in the streets. Check, check, check. I put a little chorus and some reverb on it, so we got a little vibe going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, ready. We're gonna start on the intro. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. G. F. Island strum. G. We'll be fighting in the streets with our children at our feet, and the morals that they worship will be gone. CG and the man who spurred us on sit in judgment of our wrong. They decide and the shotgun sings a song. I tip my hat to the new Constitution, take a bow for the new revolution, smile and grin at the change all around, pick up my guitar and play, just like yesterday, and I get on my knees and pray. We don't get fooled again. The change, it had to come. We knew it all along. We were liberated from the fold, that's all. And the world looks just the same, and history ain't changed, 'cause the banners were all flown in the last war. I'll tip my hat to the new Constitution, take a bow for the new revolution, smile and grin at the change all around, pick up my ukulele and play, just like yesterday, and I'll get on my knees and pray. We don't get fooled again. I'll move myself and my family aside. If we happen to be left half alive, I'll get on my papers and smile at the sky, though I know that the hypnotized never lie. Yeah! There's nothing in the streets any different to me. All the slogans are replaced by the bite, and the parting on the left are now parting on the right, and the beers have all grown longer overnight. I tip my hat to the new Constitution, take a bow for the new revolution, smile and grin at the change all around, pick up my uke and play, just like yesterday, then I'll get on my knees and pray. We don't get fooled again. One more time, end on the A. That's it, everybody, for The Who. Don't get fooled again, okay? Thanks for joining, everybody. Don't forget to do those YouTube things like and subscribe and share, and I will see you next time with another lesson. Peace out. Bye. Happy strumming. Stay funky. All that stuff. Bye, 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 bye. Long. Oops. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, or For What It's Worth. B, is she going to do the scream? You bet it. You betcha. Wait. Streets, not. Wait, how's it go? There's nothing in the streets. Everybody's in the streets. 'Cause everything looks different to me. Ooh, I changed it. You betcha.